I drive by this place and it gives me the willies. It always has.
Are you the tavern owner?
The feeling she's giving me, and I'm actually hearing an A sound to her name, and it's a very old name. And she's very shy. She's coming.
And there's a lot of kids in the house, and I'm just concerned that the place is safe. Safe.
Pretty much everybody in my family has psychic ability. A lot of the times, I solve a lot of ghost problems.
From time to time, I have been in locations where things have happened, and it has frightened me. I got into paranormal research at a fairly young age. The house where I grew up as a child was haunted.
Gordon likes to focus on the history, and I focus on the spiritual.
One of the biggest misconceptions that people have is that ghosts are only around at night. But in reality, they don't care. They're dead.
When you're on an investigation, you can never predict what's going to happen.
I am not a ghost hunter. I don't like that term. I don't shoot ghosts and mount their heads on my walls.
I drive by this place and it gives me the willies. It always has. I decided to call in Gordon. He's been doing this kind of research for 30 years. I know he'd be the perfect person to contact.
I like to give spirit a voice. That's what a medium does. We give them a voice and we tell their story.
I decided to call in Gordon. He's been doing this kind of research for 30 years. I know he'd be the perfect person to contact. My family moved here in 1851. It was a tavern, it was a stagecoach stop. I don't know if you call it playful phenomena or what. It just seems there's more of a presence, there's something going on here. I think it has escalated since the kitchen remodeling's gone on.
Renovations tend to kick up activity.
When things are moved and it doesn't look the same, it upsets spirit.
Well, the kids have heard, footsteps in the halls, doors closing, faucets turning on and off at night, shower levers turning from hot to cold, little children's footprints appearing on bathroom mirrors. Just recently, the dogs have been barking at the walls. I've been in this house at night to check the boilers, and you feel like somebody's pushing against your shoulders. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. My concerns are the safety, because we have children come in for summer camp, and they'll stay for a month or two.
There's a lot of things happening in this house that would frighten almost anyone.
I like to tell everybody you draw your own conclusion. But I do like to say, if you have to watch out for dangerous people, you also have to watch out for dangerous spirit.
One of the first things that happened to me, I was picking up a package off the porch when I thought I saw something go by the window, and I thought maybe the owner's son was home. Benny, are you in here? And then I noticed the living room door had been opened, and it's always kept closed. Benny, are you up there? And then I saw something flash by. Strange stuff like this happens to the family members here all the time.
We had to be open to the possibility that the spirits in that house go back to the early 1900s and indeed through the 1800s.
We're the only ones in the house right now, and I feel there's somebody else here.
The briefcase that I bring in always has a natural tri-field meter that picks up changes in the electromagnetic field. I definitely feel like there's a flow, like there's something that comes up these stairs, down these stairs.
That goes up to the attic. I don't like going up there.
There's sort of like an agitated
angry presence up here. With this energy that I'm picking up on, if this is the predominant spirit here, we have a lot more on our hands than we had bargained for initially. We head down the basement?
I don't like the basement too much, so you might be going down there by yourself.
This is a maze down here. One of the curious things I saw after I came around the corner were steps, but they went nowhere. Are you the tavern owner? EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon, and it's the ability to record anomalous voices on a recorder. You were talking about all the gardens that used to be out front, and you said there used to be roses.
The thing I've shown you pictures that will blow your mind of what this trellises with roses.
It said roses before I said roses.
Put the headphones on, I'll let you hear it a little bit more clearly.
Trellises with roses.
That's incredible.
This is why I want to bring Jenn in here to do a full investigation, because we definitely have activity.
And she's the medium.
Yes. This is why I want to bring Jenn in here to do a full investigation, because we definitely have activity.
And she's the medium.
Yes.
Everything holds energy. Everything has information just at the tip of your fingers.
It's our job to take those experiences that people have had that scare them and then collect evidence so that the things they're experiencing can be explained in terms of who it might be.
In my world, it all happens before we get on site. Gordon usually just sends me a photograph and says, Jenn, do your work.
I got so much information just off that one photo. Absolutely.
I knew you would.
Absolutely incredible.
When I go to a location, I really try and look at the positive. But this location, there was some negative energy there as well. I was drawn to the upstairs window. Immediately, I felt that somebody was watching me.
My sense is not as great as Jenn's, but I can pick up on different energies that are there, and I could tell right away that there was activity in the house.
I expected to see a row of like cherry blossoms and cherry trees, because when they take me back in time and they show me what they saw
That's
at the
amazing
time,
you said
lines
that.
up the
This entire
street.
street was lined with flowering cherry trees.
Thanks.
I think she's amazing. She knew things about this property. She's never been here before. She knew nothing about it, and she came here, and right away she was like, where are the cherry trees?
Another thing that I kept encountering was a lot of like bar playing. Like people would either play poker or have like bar games.
This place goes back to 1729. It was a tavern. It was a stagecoach stop.
She is the only medium that I'll actually use on investigations because I've come to trust her and she trusts me.
When I walked in, I was absolutely bombarded by so many energies all at once.
There's a woman who has already started to communicate with me. I actually got the feeling there's 5 spirits here, actually.
The negative energy that I felt on the property, I like to call him William. I kept hearing the name Bill. I think he's the one that stirs up all the activity in the home, makes the animals get upset. He's the one that kind of needs the most help.
Oh, I want to touch the banister.
When I touched the banister, I was flooded with all of these images. Parties, people coming in and out, bar brawls. I could hear laughter, joy, crying, everything all at once. With spirit, you get a lot of mischievous action.
This room has a lot of energy and activity. The hallway, I like to say, with pacing and the sound, back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth. Almost a very nervous energy.
At night, they'll hear somebody walking up and down the hallway. When they check it out, no one's there.
The feeling she's giving me, and I'm actually hearing an A sound to her name, and it's a very old name.
When we were sitting in one room specifically, I was drawn to these little stairs. There was something wrong, and we needed to figure out what it was. been asked many times doing this type of work, are spirits dangerous? And I always like to say, are people dangerous?
Jenn was drawn into this reading room with that back staircase where there were a whole slew of these big horse trophies.
I don't know if they should be here or not. Maybe not so much for walking, but it's just off balance. Like, I want to get those horses. I want to move them. I'm going to move farthest away from the meter.
I just quietly relaxed and said, we're here to chat.
Are you still shooting? Yeah.
I was very concerned that perhaps we might not get any results because of the large amount of people that were in the house.
Sometimes they're a little timid or they're afraid. It's not a bad thing.
When you're speaking to somebody from back in the 1800s, equipment, electronics, they have no idea what it is. In fact, they often get scared of it and run in the other direction.
If you're here with us, if you go over to the meters, all you have to do is just touch it.
I would love to communicate more with you and help John on the property. So if you could answer a couple of questions for John. How active are you with John on the property, or are there multiple spirits here?
We sat there going, okay, let's go, we need to talk.
It's always risky to make contact in a house where there's multiple spirits because you're not sure who's going to respond. I just hope it's not William that answers us.
And she's very shy.
I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think I could just call her and say, Abigail, please come up for tea and come sit with me and have a nice chat. It just wasn't that way. So yes, I was very nervous she wasn't gonna be able to show up. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think I could just call her and say, Abigail, please come up for tea and come sit with me and have a nice chat. It just wasn't that way. So yes, I was very nervous she wasn't gonna be able to show up.
Whoa.
Once I was there and I started the communication and I said, look, this is who we are. We made our introductions. It was great.
Do you have a name of somebody that's on the property that would be an older woman?
The only A name I can think of is my great-great-grandmother, whose name was Abigail.
That's it.
John actually verified that this woman, Abigail, was his great-great-grandmother, somebody who died, I believe, in 1913.
Abigail and I were talking. I said, don't be afraid of the cameras and the equipment and anything that you see here. It's not gonna hurt you. And that's when the meter started to go crazy.
That's Abigail.
Abigail,
That's my great-great-grandfather, and you're my great-great-grandmother.
Yeah, that's really good.
we're so happy. Like, I'm so happy. Because sometimes she's happy too.
Look at that meter go off. Now you know that's been sitting there for a good amount of time without any activity.
John, I want you to, with the communication that's happening, to feel comfortable because you get that uneasy feeling being here. But
Well, when you're talking to a ghost for the first time, it's After we did that, I was freaked out about it for a little while, sure. It confirms your belief in the afterlife, absolutely, 100%.
See, it's really important to know that the person you're
A
speaking
spirit,
to
I'm sorry.
is no different than they would have been if they were here in a body.
Right,
right.
right.
So, thank
Right,
you, Abigail.
Gordon, that
Right.
was made her like so happy. What's so moving for me is that I can see her, I can feel her, and
Well, this is fantastic, look at this.
I'm just so happy that we're getting a physical response,
Yeah,
because
this
it's
is-
enough for me to say to you, I'm hearing it, right? Everybody wants to have the physical proof.
It changes your whole religion when you see absolute clear reactions to questions from a spirit.
Yeah, William's in the attic, and
Wow.
we're gonna leave him be. We're gonna let him.
William's in the attic.
Should we just leave him be? He definitely wants validation on the property because I do feel he wants validation. So I think Abigail, you're here on the second floor. I do feel William's on the third floor, and you guys are okay like this. Everything's in balance.
Right.
There's work to be done. Go ahead, William.
Have you not crossed over?
Her feeling is, what's wrong with this room? I'm drawn to these horse statues.
Everything was about the stairwell.
She's upset because it's not safe for the people in the house to have these trophies on the staircase.
You couldn't go down those stairs if you tried. That's what was bothering her.
We took a break. We moved all the trophies.
Once we did, there was this overwhelming sense of calm. I really do feel that such a little change, even though the renovation was going on, made all the difference to Abigail.
Ask her if she's here all the time, or does she just come to visit?
You can ask her.
Yeah, go.
Are you here all the time? Yes.
Yes, I got the feeling that this is like her home.
Yes.
Abigail, I want to just ask you this because I get the feeling that you've crossed over and have come back for a purpose for someone here specifically. She's here specifically for someone.
for a person.
That was the strongest reply I've heard. I'm still getting the goosebumps.
Are you here for the children that are, or the people that are currently living in the house?
Yes.
I just can't say enough good things about Abigail. She is like your grandmother. She's watching out for everyone in that home, especially the kids.
There's a lot of kids here in the summer.
And that energy makes me feel young. That's what I heard. The energy makes me
Okay.
feel young.
Once I started talking with her, it was very natural. It was like talking to an old friend.
So, Abigail, is it okay if they continue work on the home to make it look nicer, to fix it, to keep it healthy as far as its age? Is it okay that they do more construction?
Yes.
We got the green light.
Abigail, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
So nice
We'll
to
talk
speak
later.
with you.
It's an honor.
Great grandma. I've seen other television shows that have shown this kind of thing, but until you experience it, oh my God. This is a photo we had blown up to display up at the stable, and I know it's relatives, but I don't really know who it is.
My eye just went right there into the little corner. What's amazing is she's looking out, and I feel like she's waiting for someone. I come over here, and that's Abigail.
Wow.
That's great. That's really just gave me goosebumps.
That is Abigail.
I never knew who that was in this picture. Strange stuff like this happens to the family members here all the time. We're the only ones in the house right now.
It said roses before I said roses.
Put the headphones on.
I expected to see a row of like cherry blossoms.
She came here, and right away she was like, "Where are the cherry trees?"
She's coming.
You're my great-great-grandmother.
Is it okay that they do more construction?
After meeting with Jennifer and reviewing all the evidence, I knew what I had to tell John. Well, yeah, some great news. You know, we came in here, we did our investigation, and we found that there are at least three different spirits here. We have William in the attic, we have a child playing with the dogs, and we have Abigail, who's all over the property. The predominant spirit here is Abigail, your great-great-grandmother.
Correct.
She's here to protect the house. So she's not going to allow anything to happen to the family that's bad. When Jenn was talking to Abigail, she was insistent that the trophies get moved off of the stairs. She's watching out for the welfare of people. And you'll remember that once we moved those trophies, Abigail started speaking to us. And so it's really important in the future that you keep those trophies off of places that might be a hazard to people. But all in all, it's a type of phenomenon that's not going to hurt your family and not going to hurt the family that's owning this property either. In fact, as you know, Abigail's here watching over the house.
Yeah, like a protective spirit,
Exactly.
kinda.
It's very important to remain skeptical when you're investigating because there's lots of explanations for what's happening. So once you rule everything else out and you're left with the paranormal, that's when you can consider it.
So I can tell the owner all's tranquil at Tranquility Farm.
Everything is very peaceful here and nothing to worry about.
Now that I know it's Abigail, it's my great-great-grandmother, and she loves kids, that's very comforting to know, and that would be great if she could keep looking after this place.
I'm confident with the energies on the property that everybody is keeping the peace. Once John knew all about Abigail, there was one last thing we had to do. I love communicating with spirit because when I speak to them, they always tell me something and give me a gift back in return.